Welcome back to another video, and today we'll be taking a look at the VAPID Dominator FX. Now I was reading somewhere in the community and they said FX is short for Fox. They just didn't want to put the O in the middle. Now we have seen this car in other GTAs, the Uranus, and I guess they just decided it was time for a name change. But now I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing this car in Grand Theft Auto 6, so I guess it's a perfect prelude to what's gonna come. So, as you can see here, putting on front bumpers, rear bumpers, car looks pretty much, in my opinion, like a Monte Carlo, if I'm not mistaken. Not too familiar there with older American muscle, but it does look like a Monte Carlo in the front. That's why I'm kind of going for. Kind of like a Grand National also. But anyway, as you can see, tons of exhaust options. I'm leaning towards this one, fender mounted, but not necessarily on this one. Maybe if I revisit the build sometime, I'll probably do this off camera. But we're just going to go with our original 750. That should do the trick. And back up front, let's try to remove all badges off. Perfect. Nothing like a car you can't tell the brand of, right? And let's see. Not many options for the hoods, but we do have a low call and a high call. So I know that I'll see this on the performance-based builds. Now, turbo cover. Not quite sure. First time hearing of a turbo cover, but I will put it on because I do like how it looks. $11,000. And if we do need to put lights on this. So double white stripes. Something is going on with the back of the livery there. Not quite sure if that's on purpose or not. But anyway, as you can see, nice, pretty much stripes. Oh, this one's a snake eater. I guess that's a reference from a movie or some other important part of history. Now, this is where this is nice looking. They do have some nice liveries for this car. I doubt you will actually see any of them in real life. Not in real life, in the game. So most people are going to have their color schemes going. Okay, mirrors. Not really a huge fan. They don't do too much. I hope in Grand Theft Auto 6 we could actually use our mirrors instead of actually like looking behind us. Even though looking behind you would make more sense. Just from a realistic standpoint, having our mirrors actually work would be better. I don't know what interior color I'm going to do, but it is nice to have pretty much 100% control. I'm even changing the color of the steering wheel. Okay. So just looking at the options that I might pick, orange is kind of out there. So we'll just move on and then pick a color scheme for the vehicle and come back to that. So looking in, you have primary and secondary. I do like something like a more classic style on older vehicles. So something like candy red or just, something that has a nice shine to it. So for $12,000, you're going to buy candy red. And we're not going to leave the top half in black. We're going to probably do candy red as well. Let's just hope it's not another $12,000 just to get it. 6. Not too bad. Half, right? So $6,000 is there. So we're spending like 18 grand just to get the same color. Okay, so could have went with something else, but I think this is good. Now interior, with the car being red, I think we should change it, but I think we should not change it from black also. So it's kind of iffy. So just leave it half cage. So all of them have that top section. Well, not the top section. The top and bottom section that comes into the cabin. It's just weird. I don't like seeing it on the cars in Grand Theft Auto. It's like that foot. The character has to stretch his foot or her foot over it, and it's so weird looking in Grand Theft Auto. I don't know the name, but I just can't figure it out. So I don't like roll cages, and that half cage would definitely be my way to go if I didn't have that hatred for that thing. Intake skirt, let's do that. That's a nice one. Something different. So we spent a good chunk of change on that. Oh, look at that. I did expect to see some drag wings here. For you Pro Street guys or just guys who like to roleplay, there's tons of options on this car for you guys. This is something that I do like. Looks more period correct and is not too big. So for 14,000, let's do that. I think I already scrolled to the options already. Not gonna do competition suspension. Muscle cars don't really react well when you do that to them. Because once you hit bumps, sometimes they just kind of spin out very easily. Suspension has a lot to do with how your car. Well, of course it does. It's a suspension, but Grand Theft Auto really puts that into effect. If the car is stock, you don't want that necessarily, but you would like to have at least the first level of aftermarket suspension, just in case if you go into a race that does something quite tricky, you would want to be on stock when your competitors are on something else. So looking into the wheels, I did decide to go with slicers, which is pretty much the exact wheel that came on this car, but just in chrome, due to me having it for free. Why not? It does look good. And to be honest, if I was able to get my money back for that tire label thing, I would. So for the sake of the 5,000 that I spent, we'll just have to keep it on. So I drove this thing to Los Angeles Customs. It drove pretty well. Now it's building up on top of that with the extra power. And honestly, it doesn't feel too much like this overkilled concept of a car. Now, I would like to see a little bit more. It doesn't feel fast enough where it's hiding the speed very well. To me, it feels kind of either mid-tier or bottom range muscle car. Now, that could be very contradictory because we do have some slow muscle cars in there in this game. Not every muscle car is geared around speed. Ooh. Wow, everyone just kicked out. And we do have double clutch. Double clutch is available for this. One thing I do trust it with is the handling. For a muscle car, it's not too bad. As you can see, I'm not all over the road. I didn't hit anybody yet. And let's just hope I don't jinx myself by having one of these people turn into me. So, yes. Not too bad on the handling, double clutch. So with the right track, you should be able to pull the win off with this thing. Just draft and just play your cards right. And you could do wheelies for you guys that like to do wheelies. It is a muscle car. Let's see if we can do that long wheel. Let's see. Oh, okay. And of course, he had no business turning there. But yes, car does well. I do like it. For 1.5 million and 50,000. 1.5, 50,000. It is kind of expensive. I would say, for the look at the whole complete package, looking at the interior, engine model, not necessarily worth the $1.5 million, but with GTA tax and inflation, because that clearly went up without us noticing. And for GTA tax, it's not too bad. But if you were to ask me 6 years ago, or even 3 years ago, I'd still say it's not worth it for this price. So not too bad for 1.5 million. I'm pretty sure most GTA Online players have that laying around in the pockets, or in some business safe, or in business product. So yes, if you do like this car, I definitely recommend you getting it. If you can't afford it, just wait until it goes on the podium or prize ride. That's pretty much it for the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.